Hey, Pisces. Thank you for joining me for your April reading. How are you doing? How are your family? How are your loved ones? Remember, family can be blood, family can be chosen. So I'm asking about the people that you hold dear. Might sound like a rhetorical question, but it's really not. You could share it in the comments. You could, whatever. I can't imagine a time more important to have some sense of community. So if I can provide any of that for you, you know where to do it. So Pisces, I've got a channeled message for you before we get into your cards. Spirit was saying you are moving into a new phase. That's how they were putting it. And the phase has to do with knowing yourself better. And this is very specifically what it is. Knowing yourself better, therefore knowing what you want, therefore being able to express, this is what I want. Haven't seen your cards, very interested to see how they're going to play with your message, so let's get into it. Let's see what Spirit wants to tell you about where you are, in April, where you're headed, and how best to get there. How best to walk into your new phase. Holy gosh, okay. Sorry, I'll pop your cards up there in just 1 second and you can see what I see. Wow. there she blows. Wow. Okay, Pisces, listen. It is understandably a little scary to move towards something you feel so passionate about and so excited about, and there's a reason we have fears of failure and fears of success. And I think that you want to look at those fears this month. I think that this is so weird, but what Spirit is showing me is someone looking at, like, picking up their hands, and they're looking at these manacles, and these manacles have chains, right? Manacles are like cuffs, sorry. And these cuffs have chains, like you're chained to something or chained to a wall. And it's like as this person looks at their manacles and the chains, they fall. What Spirit is telling me is we want you to get acquainted with what you're afraid of so that you can say, okay, I'm afraid of this, I'm afraid of this, I'm afraid of this. If I get, let's say, this is really interesting, okay. Spirit is saying we want you to, it's like, don't be careful what you wish for. Know that what you're wishing for may come with problems. Even if they're upgraded problems, it's like, oh, but that's going to cause this to happen. That might cause this other thing that I'm afraid of to happen. Rather than trying to, this is what Spirit is showing me is okay. I'm so sorry. They have a lot to say. Here's where they're having me zoom in first. This is the Eight of Swords. This is the position representing where you find yourself, okay? So upon first glance, this chick looks like she's in some trouble. She is surrounded by swords, she's tied up, she is blindfolded. But if we look for another minute, we notice that it's not like she's even surrounded by the swords, right? They're just kind of there. They're all around, but they're not keeping her in anywhere. And, her feet aren't tied up or tied down, and even the bonds around her look like that if she literally and figuratively just shrugged them off, they would fall to the ground. And then she could pull off her blindfold and go anywhere she wants to go. But a lot of the time, the fear of going is worse than the fear of staying. So we think. But if we could have a sense, if we could have a taste of what was on the other side of walking through the fire of our fear, passing that Rubicon, that point of no return. Some of you might be Aries, have Aries placements, because I believe that was a word that they dropped into the Aries reading, and I was like, that is not a word that I'm using in my lexicon, you know what I'm saying? If you could allow yourself to have the fear of failure or success kind of ameliorated, like a balm. Like, but this could happen if I do walk through the fire of my fear, right? This amazing thing that I could have. That's only one part of the equation that Spirit is saying this will help you walk through the fire of your fear. The other part is what they were saying earlier, is literally like even making a list. This is what could happen. This is what could happen. If I desperately desire to have fill in the blank. Blank job, blank amount of money, blank relationship, whatever, as detailed as you want to get. And then think about all the problems, all the fears, all the worries, all the blah, blah, blah that would or could come from getting this good thing. And when you've written down 20 plus things that you like really dig, okay, not just like 2 or 3, dig, so that you're really taking off your blindfold, so that you're really taking off these bonds and saying, you know what, like I may not even get there. I may not reach success, but I'm tired of standing here with a blindfold on. Like I'm ready to move on something. Look at what you're afraid of on a fucking piece of paper and be like, it's right here. Like, here it is. If I become blank amount of successful, my friends might resent me. People might think I'm full of myself. Mom might be disappointed in my career choice. Whatever. Look at it and then ask yourself, am I willing to accept that one or all of these things could happen? And do I still want to walk toward this thing if I know all these things could or will happen? Acknowledging what's hard about it can help you get clear, because maybe it's not worth it. Maybe when you look at the risks, it's like, oh yeah, I really want to go fucking hang gliding in Tanzania or whatever, but I might get fucking malaria and I might break a bone, and I'm looking at all these fears and what could and might happen, and it's like, the risk is not worth the reward. But if the fucking reward is worth the risk, let's go. Haven't even talked about it, Pisces. This is why I have such a good feeling about you doing this. You have the card of victory, of recognition, of showing off your talents right at the center of your reading, crossed by 6 of Cups. Now, part of the reason I was like kind of dropping my jaw from the first part of the reading is if you look at your cards, you might notice 6 of Wands, 6 of Cups, 2 connected cards, right? And then the past and the future, 7 of Wands, 7 of Pentacles, 6, 6, 7, 7. Position where you find yourself and the card representing what's going on the outside. 8 of Swords, 8 of Wands, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8. Synchronicity, big synchronicity happening for you in April. Lots of signs and flags waving. You know that you're an intuitive sign. The signs are coming to you. And people are going to be coming to you. That's also what I'm hearing. 6 of Cups is connection, and specifically reconnection, reuniting with people from your past, or bringing people together under kind of like the banner of nostalgia, which sounds weird, but it's like maybe some of you are like, I'm going to play some old hits and I'm going to play them on Facebook on live stream or whatever, and like have like my friends or have a whole audience or whatever come and watch me. 6 of Wands, come watch me. Or maybe you're going to do a retrospective on your favorite your favorite TV shows from childhood, and that's what you're going to do because you're bored at home and have nothing else to do, and you're going to share it with people. Whatever. It kind of feels like your success is connected to what makes you feel free and childlike and like is fun for you. So there's a lot of creativity, especially, my God, with the Magician crowning your reading, saying you have everything that you need. If there's any question in your mind, if you're capable, you absolutely have everything that you need. The Magician has all 4 elements in front of them on the table. Cup, wand, pentacle, sword. Anything that you could need, to manifest what it is that you want, you can have. But here's the thing, you do need a plan. And I know, Pisces, like, some of you might have, you know, your Capricorn and other placements that help you be a little more into the planning process. But some of you might be going like, oh God, can't I just like go with the flow? Can't I just like, if I feel it that day, like, you know, some days I feel like creating and some days I don't. And Spirit is like, listen, if you want to overcome the challenge, if you want to have the victory, if you want to be the one, then you need a plan. And you need to look at how things are working right now or not working right now. Like, is the way I have my schedule set up working? Is the way I'm spending my money working? Is the way I'm spending my time working? Pentacles are, yes, money, but it's also skills, time, energy, all the resources that we have to quote unquote spend to create something. So it's, you know, some of you are going to be very literally looking at your budget and going, you know what, this can go, this can go, this can go. Which I want to validate the fact that like the fives in general, different versions of the fives, and also like the 8 and 9 of swords, these cards have been popping up consistently in everybody's reading. And I feel that part of that is to do with the collective crisis that we're dealing with. So it's like, yes, there's collective fear. There's collective like, fuck, am I going to have enough? This is really hard. I'm having to work very hard for not enough or like just enough. And I'm worried, I'm scared, I'm struggling. Spirit is coming through to reassure you that if you put your talents to work, if you put your skills to work, if you look at the way you've been arranging things and think like, how has the harvest worked for me? Like the way that a farmer would look at their field and they wouldn't have like a personal, like, I'm a bad person because the squash crop didn't work this year. No, but they do go like, okay, so squash didn't work so great, like, but the fucking arugula is amazing, like it's flourishing. So we're going to make a ton on arugula this year, but we're not going to make shit on squash. Maybe we're not going to do squash next year, or maybe we're going to do half or the third of the plot of squash that we were doing because I still love making squash. This metaphor is running away with me. I still love planting squash, but it's just not giving the same yield as the arugula or whatever, okay? Listen, I hate arugula. Pisces, you can make something new out of what you have in front of you if you just kind of rejigger it, okay? Like a little bit of like, move this here, move that there. I can adjust this, a little more of this, a little less of that. A little more time spent on this, little less time spent on that. You know what I'm saying? Don't give anything up that you're not ready to give up, but do consider changing the plan or creating one if you've been resisting making one, which I understand. Because opportunities are going to be presenting themselves like crazy right now. I think that a lot of people want what you have, and even if you don't know that yet, Pisces, this is the time to be throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. 8 of Wands is opportunities flying at you and flying, and generally the idea is also, like I said, throw your spaghetti, throw your name, your video, your song, your resume out there. Things will move. It's really important also this month for you to stand out. And I feel like that might be a little bit maybe part of the hang up that some of you have, is like being seen and being like, one of your fears or insecurities may be around like, am I good enough? Is my work or my style or my whatever it is that I want to put out there, whatever my goal is it worth it? Is it good? Am I even good enough? Like, am I worthy? And Pisces, it's so strange how we can get so caught up in what everybody else thinks about us and whether they think we're worthy. And Spirit is having me think of, and gosh, this is like, it's sad, but what they're having me bring up to you is like celebrities. The most famous, the most like wealthy and popular and ostensibly beloved people in the world. And then we think of like Robin Williams. Somebody who brought so much joy, somebody who shone, somebody who was so gifted and so beloved. And that person died alone and so sad, and not thinking that they were worthwhile, and that anything that anybody felt for them could be real, that maybe they'd fooled them, or, you know, whatever. The things that we tell ourselves when we're depressed or when we have low self-worth or low self-esteem. All of the outside input in the world will not fill the void that we need to fill within ourselves, of considering ourselves to be worthy, not because we're perfect or the best, but because we're fucking here, because we're human, because we give the other people in our life like the credit of you're a worthwhile human, whether or not you're a best-selling author or a successful business owner or an artist or whatever. I love you, you're worth it, my God. Like, can you feel that for yourself? Can you do what you do for so many other people for yourself? I think you can. In the potential position, temperance, balance, 1 foot in the sea, 1 foot on land, Pisces. You are a fish, all right? But not a fish out of water. Maybe, you know, you're evolving and you evolve some legs and now you can walk around on land and you can do things a little differently because you've been fighting and working so hard at your skills, because you're making a new plan where it's like, okay, this is how I have to evolve. This is how I have to change my budget, change my workload, change my schedule so that I can get to where I want to go, so that I can get past the fear. And part of getting past the fear, Spirit is saying, is getting out of your head and getting to work. Because thinking, analyzing, that's all well and good. Nothing changes in the external when we do that. So if you're afraid of how your product, your song, your speech, your resume will turn out, be afraid and do it anyway. Getting your hands dirty, seeing if the new schedule you set for yourself actually works, rather than spending weeks kind of like, maybe this would work, maybe this would work, maybe this would work. Form a hypothesis and test it. That's what Spirit is saying. Put it to the test. See if it works. Throw your name out there. See if it works. In the key and conclusion position, I didn't pull a clarifier. Spirit wanted 2 cards for this position, and I can see why. The Knight of Cups, the Change, the Offering, coming right up to the Lovers. Okay, sorry about that. Had a mini cat disaster. We're still here. We made it. So the Knight of Cups in that key position. And what are they bringing? What are they summoning? What are they walking toward? The Lovers. Great passion. And here is the really exciting part. An amazing choice. Now, I cannot ignore, Pisces, that the Knight of Cups combined with the Lovers could very, very, very well represent some of you falling in love, some of you encountering or partnering or taking things to the next level with somebody who is on a soulmate type of level. Someone who you can really see yourself, this is how Spirit is putting it, like growing with. Someone who makes you want to be better and be more of yourself. But not because like, oh, I have to be like better because then this person will like me. But it's just like they inspire you. It's a very cleanly inspiration. It's not, there's no desperation here. It's like, wow, seeing them do what they do just like blows my mind and inspires and motivates me to do what I do even more and even better. There's like really divine kind of partnership potential here. But the other thing about the Lovers is it represents an amazing choice. And to get the idea of how amazing a choice this is, and sometimes how difficult a choice it is, I'm gonna give you an example. That let's pretend, first of all, let's pretend that you're single. Whatever your relationship status is, let's pretend that you're single just for the sake of this example. You're single, and tomorrow When you are on the hunt for the essentials at the grocery store, you are standing social distancing safely 6 feet away from the most like attractive, compelling person that you've ever seen. Weird. And then you guys start, chit-chatting because the line is an hour long, and it's just like, bam, we like the same things. Bam, you're really interesting. Damn, like this is just like the easiest and best connection that I have felt in a long time, or maybe ever. And then wham, it's like we're soulmates. I just met my fucking soulmate, and it's mutual. They feel the same way. Okay? The next day, you get a call or an email from your favorite city in the world offering you your dream job for your dream salary. But your soulmate that you just met, they're doing their dream job for their dream salary right here. So, ooh, how in the world did I get so fucking lucky and unlucky as to have to make a decision between these two wonderful things? Which one is going to really help me grow? Which one is going to help me achieve my spiritual purpose? Whatever that may be. Your spiritual purpose can be being a rock star. Like, doesn't have to mean going and, being a monk. Like, I mean what you feel like you're here to do. What you feel like, this is when my soul shines. This is when I'm making my magic, is when I do this. I feel that your bravery, you're working with the right people who love you, people who support you. 6 of Cups, again, another soulmate type of card. So could be some very passionate, exciting, romantic goings on in your life this month. But regardless of if they're romantic, there's going to be some exciting, passionate goings on this month, and some facing of fears. And I do feel, I just keep feeling like some transcending of those fears, because you get your hands dirty. You give it a try and see how it feels. And when you give it a try and it feels good, that creates a virtuous cycle. Whoa, I made the thing, or I did the thing that I haven't done. I got up early, whatever. It could be I put something on the internet for everyone to see, or it could be as small as I said I was going to wake up and do this morning routine, and then I woke up and did this morning routine. When you do something that you say that you're going to do and you feel proud of yourself, it creates a virtuous cycle, and it creates a new place in your identity. I wasn't able to do that before. I wasn't the kind of person who went to the gym 3 times a week. I wasn't the kind of person who got up early and meditated before they started their day, but now I am. When you open a new door within yourself, new doors from the outside fly open wide. It just is what it is. As above, so below. As within, so without. When you know that you are magic, magic happens for you. It's just how it works. I didn't make the rules. I'm just here to help make them clear. So what magic are you making this month, Pisces? Are you feeling magical? Are you feeling unmagical? There's no wrong answer. How are you feeling? This is a good place to do a little bit of catharsis and face a little bit of the fears of maybe this is what could happen if I fail. This is what could happen if I succeed. And I'm comfortable with the fear, so I'm willing to go forward. Here's a good place where we could talk about it and hear what each other are feeling, and that's bolstering, that's helpful. Let's all transcend, okay? Let's all Knight of Cups it on over to the lovers. Let's do it. Thank you for being here, Pisces. I really appreciate you, and I deeply appreciate any likes, comments, shares, subscribes, all that stuff you guys do that is like a small action that has such a huge reverberating result for me. Helps me get the message out to more people, to achieve my ultimate, what feels like my mission and purpose here, which is to make this world a better, kinder, lighter, more compassionate, more fun place to live for all of us. So thank you for that, Pisces, for doing your part. I appreciate you, and I hope that this reading serves you many times over. Thank you for being here, Pisces, and if I don't see you in a video before then I will see you in your May reading. Bye, Pisces.